Hi everyone, welcome to part 2 of the Entrelac Tunisian Crochet in the round tutorial. So as I say, this is part 2 and this is going to show you how to add your next colour, and this stage is going to be what you're going to follow for the continuation of your blanket or whatever you're making. So you'll follow this same process every time you've completed a round and you want to add your next colour. And then finally there will be a part 3 video which will show you how to straighten off and do your half diamonds, do your triangles to straighten off the edges to then be able to border it or whatever you want to do. Okay, so part 2, we're going to start our next colour. So I've inserted my hook into the top corner of one of your diamonds. So my hook's inserted. I'm going to place a slip knot onto the hook with the next colour. This is just how I join my colour. If you have a different method that you prefer to do to add colours, then go for that, but this is what I do. So I've put the slip knot onto my hook and I pull it through the hole. Okay, and then I'm just going to chain 1 and pull that tight just to seal that into the corner space. So we're now going to start adding our next colour. So this first box is just going to be a continuation of what we've done for our other diamonds. So what we're going to do is we're going to go along and pick up the 5 bars that we were doing previously. So the first one's here, so we're going to insert our hook, pull through, the next one along, pull through, the next one along, pull through, this one, and lastly that one there. So we've pulled up through the 5 bars, and then we're going to insert our hook. If you have a look up the side where your 5 rows are, you're going to insert into the first row, into the chain on the side there where your first row is. So you're going to pull 1 up there, and that has given us, like last round, our 7 loops on our hook, and then we're just going to work them off, pulling through 2 at a time like we always do. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. There we go. So we've got our first row of our new colour. Go along, pick up the same 5 bars again. And then you're going to pick up 1 from the next row of stitch space on the edge here. So you're going to insert your hook into the second row edge and pull through 1. So you've got your 7 and work them off in 2s. Okay, so now you've got 2 rows of your next colour. You're going to do the same again for 3 more rows so that you end up with your 5 rows like last time. So I'm just going to whiz through them now, but it's exactly the same as if you've just done for these last 2 rows. You're going to pick up along the 5 bars and then in the end of the row of this box diamond. So work them off in 2s. One thing I would say about this stitch is it's quite slow growing. It's very time consuming, but I mean it just looks absolutely gorgeous when it's done. A lot of crochet blankets you do are very holy, whereas this I just find is very tight and not so like it's a good winter blanket because it's not so gappy. And I just think it's such a beautiful effect. This was one of the first blankets I made our baby daughter when she was born. So I'm just going to do my 5th row now. We've got 4. This is the 5th row. I'm going to insert my hook into the top row space on the edge here. Pull through, work these off. There we go. So we've got our 5 rows, and now we're going to do what we did before to bind them off. So we're going to insert our hook into the first bar and slip stitch, just pull through both loops, insert again, yarn over, pull through, oh sorry, I'm off camera, pull through both loops, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through both loops, and you do that 5 times for the 5 bars along, yarn over, pull through, oh, pull through both, last bar here, this is the 5th one, pull through, and then lastly I insert my hook into the top of the next diamond, because that's the next row we're going to be working. So if you see either side of this top row there's 2 holes, so we've used the side for this stitch, and I actually think it makes, some people slip stitch into this side space. In my experience, that actually, when you come to at the next round, kind of makes this hole all the time, whereas my way avoids you getting that hole. So I actually slip stitch into the top, and I just feel, look, it closes that up and you don't end up with this gaping hole. There's really no way to avoid it on your starting diamond, but I don't like that to be continuous all the way through. So if you just slip in the top space, that seems to help that. Right, now this is where it gets different from what we've done before. So the way we've just done that one, that's what you're going to do every time you've got a right angle corner, like down here as well, it's going to be the same. So every time you've got 2 sides to work on, that is the formula you're going to follow. You're just going to create your 5 rows in the bars and bind across. Now obviously if we had another diamond here as well right now, if we had another diamond connected to this purple, we'd have another side here. So we'd just be start picking up across now. We'd be picking up those 5 bars and working up this side. Because we haven't got that and we're at the end of a row, we need to do something different. So what you're going to do is start off by chaining 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you're going to go along and starting from the 2nd chain on your hook, you're going to pick up 5 loops. So insert your hook into the 2nd chain, pull up, 3rd chain, pull up, 4th chain, pull up, 5th chain, pull up, 6th chain, pull through. So we've got 6 loops on our hook, and then lastly we're going to pull up one, we're going to insert our hook into this same top space that we just bound off into. So insert your hook into the beginning, into that row, and now you've got your 7. So you work them off in 2s, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Right, so if we turn this up now on its side, you can see what we've done. All we've given ourselves is that row, that chain just helps us now have our right angle to build up our 5 rows. So we're going to be working into the side of this one now, joining our 5 rows. I hope that makes sense. So let's start again. So we're going to be pulling up from our grey bars now. So we're going to pull up our 5 loops from the bars. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then insert into the next row on the side here, into the next space on the edge, insert your hook and pull up your 7th hoop, work them off in 2s, there we go. So that's given us 2 rows, we've got 3 more to do. I'm going to quickly whiz through these because I think you should understand this by now. So you're going to pick up the 5 bars and in the next space on the edge here as well for 3 more rows. Okay, so we've got our 5 rows again. We're going to go along and bind off, inserting in each of the 5 bars and doing the slip knot through both loops. And then lastly, in the top of the next diamond. And now you see we've come to the end again, and we haven't got our right angle again to continue working up both sides. We've just got one edge, so we need to do our chain 6 again to create our base to do the next diamond. So we'll chain 6, 4, 5, 6, insert your hook in the second chain from the hook and go along and pull up 5 stitches, 4, 5. So you've got your 6 chains, and then insert into the same space at the top there to pull up your 7th, work off in 2, and then if you turn your work again, you can see we've now got our next base to carry on working up our 5 rows up the top here. When you get to the top here, you've already got your right angle. You don't need to chain 6. You're just going to work across those bars up to there, and so on and so forth. So what I'm saying is, whenever you've got this right angle, because as your blanket grows that will be more frequent, and these chain 6s on the ends are going to happen less and less. So the majority of your blanket you're just going to be working along in a diagonal, so you'll work across in the same method, and it's only when you get to the ends that you've just got a flat edge and you haven't got the bit sticking out here to carry on working your next one. That's when you chain 6 just to go around the corner. What I'll do is I'll just keep going and let you just watch in case there is any confusion. I'm hoping that I've kind of covered everything, but what I'll do is I'll just get us a bit further along without talking anymore, and just so you can check if you're not happy with what to do when you get there. So I'm just gonna finish the 5 rows for here and just show you another normal one that's coming up, what I mean, the way you're gonna just carry on working across. So we're ready to just bind off across the top here. Joining in the top of the next diamond, and now we don't have to worry about our chain 6. We're just going to literally start working this box now, just working across the 5 bars. Excuse me. Pick up there. You've picked up your 5 bars, And then in this side, you can see your 5 chains along the edge here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're just going to insert our hook into the 5th one, work them off. So you're just going to continue making this diamond up the side here the same way we have been, and then when you get to the top of this one and you've slip stitched across into that last corner, you're then going to follow the method of the chain 6 to get around the corner, and then you'll carry on working around your blanket. If there is any questions, please let me know, but really it's just remembering the 2 different ways. On the corners you have to do the chain 6 method that I've just shown you, and in just a normal right angle space along the main lengths of the blanket, you literally just work over and carry on going into the next square. And join me for part 3, where I'll show you how to straighten off the edges, as I say, how to do triangles ready for you to border. Thank you for watching. I hope that was okay. Take care. Bye.